Welcome to The Explainer. So for today, we're going to do something a little different. Instead of digging into a news topic, we're actually pulling back the curtain on a process. We're going to deconstruct the anatomy of a really effective sales pitch.
You've seen them, right? Those super long web pages or video ads that just seem to get you. They know exactly what you're worried about. And what do you know? They've got the perfect solution ready to go. So how do they do that? Well, it turns out there's a formula, and it's surprisingly consistent. Okay, let's dive into this.
To really see this formula in action, we're going to use the sales page for a product called Insta Soothe as our source material. Now, let me be super clear about something. We are not reviewing this product. We're not fact-checking its claims at all. We are simply analyzing the text from its sales page because it's a total masterclass in the art of persuasion.
Okay, so you might think the first step in a sales pitch is to, present the product, but it's not. The first and honestly the most critical step is to define the problem. And they don't just talk about any problem. They have to craft a very specific, very urgent one that you feel on a really personal level.
So check this out. The pitch doesn't just say, "You're in pain." It creates a specific villain. The source gives this enemy a name, PGE2, and then it calls it the heat wave molecule. All of a sudden, that general ache you feel isn't just an ache anymore. It's a targeted attack from a scientific-sounding thing inside your own body.
And then they take it a step further. They expand the threat, linking this heat wave molecule to these bigger modern anxieties that we all kind of have in the back of our minds. Things like environmental toxins and microplastics. By doing this, the problem isn't just your personal pain anymore. It's part of this relentless, modern-day onslaught that you feel totally powerless against.
And this line right here from the source, wow, it really brings it all home. It frames the whole thing as a constant, ongoing battle. It's the final turn of the screw. See, you're not just buying a one-time fix. You're buying a defense system. And without it, the pitch says you are literally helpless. The problem has now been defined as both very specific and something that's never going away.
Okay, so they've built up this scary villain, they've raised the stakes, and now it's time to introduce the hero of the story, the solution. And the product isn't positioned as just a solution. Oh no, it's positioned as the one and only solution.
And look at how cleverly this is done. Every single feature of Insta Soothe is perfectly framed to be the direct counterpunch to the problem we just learned about. You know, other creams, they just offer general pain relief. But Insta Soothe, it targets that specific heat wave molecule. It fights those environmental toxins. And hey, it even solves that common annoyance of other creams by being non-greasy. It is unique by design.
And to make the solution sound really convincing, they give you this simple, powerful story. It's not just some cream, it's a three-pronged attack. The source gives each ingredient a specific job in fighting the enemy. So menthol and aloe vera, they block that evil PGE2 molecule. Arnica Montana, it relieves the inflammation. It just feels so strategic, so complete, and it's really easy to understand.
Okay, so let's recap. We've got a scary problem. We've got the perfect solution. But why should anyone actually believe any of it? Well, this next stage is all about building that credibility and making you, the customer, feel safe enough to actually pull out your wallet. One of the most powerful tools for building trust is something called social proof. The idea is actually super simple. If other people just like you have used this and it worked for them, then hey, it'll probably work for you too. And this is where all those testimonials and customer stories come rolling in. Take this first story, for example. It's brilliant because it is so specific. It's not just, "my knees hurt." No, this is from a package deliverer whose pain had a direct, real-world financial consequence. He had to take time off work. The result they promise is tangible. You can get back to your job pain-free.
Now this next one, this is aimed right at a very specific group of people. It speaks directly to anyone out there who feels let down or frustrated by the traditional medical system. That phrase, passed around by 3 different doctors, it taps into this deep feeling of frustration, and it positions Insta Soothe as the smarter, alternative solution that finally works.
And then they hit you with the emotional gut punch. The language here is just incredibly powerful. Arthritis didn't just cause her pain, it stole my life from me. The promise isn't just about relief from aches, it's about getting your entire life back. It's about being able to do simple things again, like starting your car, to the point where you almost forget you even had the problem. That's a powerful promise.
So these customer stories are a huge pillar for building trust. But there's another piece to this puzzle. You have to remove any financial risk for the customer. Because if you make it totally impossible for them to lose, the decision to buy becomes much, much easier.
And that's where the guarantee comes in. A strong, simple, no questions asked 60-day guarantee. It basically transforms the purchase into a risk-free trial. The company's taking on all the risk, which sends a huge signal that they're confident in their product, and it makes you, the customer, feel totally secure.
All right, we've got the problem, we've got the solution, and we've got the proof. The person watching is probably nodding along, they're interested. So the final step is to convert all that interest into action. This is the close, and it's designed to get you to buy, and to buy right now.
So let's break down this pricing table from the source. The very first thing you probably notice is that crossed out regular price. This is a classic psychological technique called anchoring. Your brain sees that first high price, $69, and it locks onto it as the real value. So when you see the sale price of $29, it immediately feels like a massive bargain.
And if the table wasn't obvious enough, they give you this chart. It's explicitly designed to guide your choice. By showing you the price per bottle visually, your eye just goes right to how much lower the bar is for the best value package. It makes buying 6 bottles seem like the absolute smartest financial move, and it encourages a bigger purchase by framing it as saving more money.
Okay, last piece of the puzzle. They can't let you click away and say, I'll think about it. They need you to act now. So they introduce urgency and scarcity. Just look at the language here. The threat of being out of stock, a big discount that expires, and that little reminder to stock up before the pain comes back. It's all designed to create a fear of missing out and push you to make a decision right away. So there you have it. That's the formula. It's a powerful 4-part structure. First, you define a very specific and urgent problem. Second, you present your product as the one and only unique solution. Third, you build unshakable trust with social proof and risk-reversing guarantees. And fourth, you push for the sale with smart pricing and a real sense of urgency.
Now look, the whole point of this explainer isn't to make you cynical about every ad you see. It's really to give you a new lens to look through. The next time you land on a sales page or you're watching one of those long video ads, just see if you can spot these steps in action. Understanding the how behind the persuasion, well, that makes you a much more informed and empowered consumer. What patterns will you notice now?